CNBC-TV18 Weekender, only on CNBC-TV18.
Hello and welcome to this really special episode of The Weekender. They say life is a beach, B-E-A-C-H, The more you roam around, the more variables and the more beauty you find. But for you to truly revel in the magnificence of nature, you have to sit down at one place and enjoy the panoramic view. The same can be said about trading as well. The more variables you add to your model, the more things you discover. But when it all boils down to that decision of buy or sell, it boils down to just one split second. Our guest today epitomizes this very philosophy. Atul Suri, trader at Rare Entreprises, joins us to have fun this weekend. Hi, morning. Nice to see you this Sunday.
Yes, that's my wife Deepshikha and that's my boy Soham.
Hello, how are you? So this is Sunday. What are we doing? We're at the Getaway. There's some boats out there.
Let's get across the harbour.
Let's get across the harbour. Is that what you do every Sunday?
I would love to, but I kind of do it very often.
All right, so it's your family outing. Thanks a lot for inviting us to join us on this one.
Let's go, guys.
Right, so after that 20-30 minute sojourn over the beach or over the ocean, coming in from Mumbai on a speedboat with Atul and his family to Alibag, slightly off Mumbai, and he'll tell us more about what about the water calls him and also what makes a man who loves art, the water and traveling come into finance. What happened, Atul? You started out as a fundamental analyst and then you moved on to becoming a technical analyst and now you find out that your true calling is travel and the water. What exactly happened? What was the transition?
I guess in life you grow and you learn things. And for me, life has been about overcoming fears. You know, the whole thing with water is all about overcoming fears. So my passion is scuba diving. I'm a scuba diver. I'm a certified open water advanced diver. I've done quite a few dives all over the world. And you wouldn't believe if I told you that 4 years ago I could not swim.
What are you saying? Really?
I was fearful of water. I love the water, but I would just never go in. And that's like 4 years ago. Till on one dramatic, it's very filmy. But a couple of friends, we were out, we saw a nice movie. It's a very guy bonding movie called Zindagi, Milegi, Dobara.
Yes, we know about that.
And we were coming out and we were just all raving about, Katrina Kaif and all that stuff.
Did you feel like Hrithik Roshan in that
film? No, I'm far from it. Far from it. So what really happened was that we were coming out and these friends of mine actually dive.
All right.
So I was coming out and I said, wow, what a great thing to really go out scuba diving. And one of them laughed at me and said, but you don't even know swimming. And that really hurt me. Like, that was below the belt. Right? So I told him, don't challenge me. Are you challenging me? And he said, yes. He's saying they're going diving 3 months from now. And that was in Phuket. And I challenge you to come diving with us. And at that moment, once you see a movie, like after a couple of drinks, you're all bravado. And you said, yes, I took on the challenge.
Oh, that's rather funny.
And it was Jan, I remember. In the month of Jan, at 6 in the morning, Mangalam, I used to enter the pool. I used to be the only guy to learn swimming.
Oh.
And I learned swimming, and 3 months later, I was in the ocean.
That's
my first dive was the most dramatic dive. I had a shark encounter.
Whoa!
And I haven't looked back.
That's as dramatic as it gets.
Yeah. And I have been diving ever since. Whenever my wife allows me, of course.
Of course. So now, see, this speaks about your trader instinct as well, right? You have a deal, you have to go ahead and make it. But then again, on the trading desk, there is a stop loss, right? Was there a stop loss in your first dive? Was there a boat nearby that you had to actually climb upon?
No, I jumped off the boat and it was the first time in the ocean. That itself is scary.
Right.
And there was a big wave that hit me on the face. So my mask came off, water went into my nose and I was like, fretting. And I told the instructor that I'm not good, I want to go back on the boat, I'd hardly entered the water. And he told me, look around. The boat that had dropped it had already moved away.
Whoa.
So I had no option. I was in the middle of the ocean with my instructor, of course, and he says, you have two options. Either you stay here and get smashed around your face, or let's go down. He asked me to look underwater, and when I saw that, all fear vanished, because there's such beautiful marine life. It's just so gorgeous that fear just vanished at that moment, and I agreed to go underwater. And for me, that was a turning point. Just at that stage, if I'd ever got back on the boat, I think I would have never come back to the ocean.
Right.
There were no options. The beauty was below. Went for it. And for me, a whole new world opened up.
So from that turning point of you looking down and seeing that wonderful world and trying to figure out that you had just two options, has that changed something in you professionally as well? Have you tried to figure out, when you look at a trade now, do you look at it more differently than you did earlier?
No, I wouldn't. I don't think it's transformed so many things. I mean, the principles remain the same. So I guess for me, that was something new, where someone like me who's always been safe and, getting it going by the book, this was a big let go, and for me it happens whenever I go.
But you started out as a fundamental analyst. Why the technical, or what about the technical thing amused you or invited you the most?
I'm a very visual person, I love art, I love graphic stuff more than a numbers person, and technicals and charts is all about the graphic side of things, and that naturally pulled me to this form of analysis. It's not very popular, it was not very centrist, not very right, it was even a big career downer. But the fact is that I was passionate about it, and I went for it. As I said, earlier, at some time you just have to let go and trust and go for it. And I guess I've done that a couple of times in my life.
Tell you what, someone has to see you during the work week and then see you over the weekends, and it's an absolute change. You're a man who loves the visual art. You're a creative person. But what, apart from diving, are your passions? Do you travel around? What are the paths that you all take? Is it off the beaten path or the regular touristy places that you go to?
Yeah, I got to thank my wife actually after we got married.
Well, there's some points that you're scoring out there.
Yeah, for sure,
it's a family outing.
For sure.
Right.
for sure.
So,
thanks to her. I've been traveling a lot, and obviously, you tend to gravitate towards the sea in the last 3-4 years. So definitely my share of Southeast Asia, because that's where I dive a lot. But she likes Europe, so we've traveled extensively there. And for us, actually, our favorite destination is the Costa del Sol, which is south of Spain, the Riviera, and there's a place called Torremolino. So I guess between the two of us, if you ask us, we both say that's our best holiday place. You
have a house in Goa. Tell us a little more about that. You spend a lot of your time there as well, right?
Well, I don't have a house actually, but the fact is half my family, wife's family is moved to Goa.
Right.
So there are a lot of homes out there. And that's why, whenever we go there, it's the nearest place, and for Bombay, you need some sanity. The city sometimes gets you down. So Goa is a place you definitely go to. I love my seafood, for sure. At one stage in my life, I was studying in Australia, and I used to, dishwash, honestly, and I was a kitchen hand, make money to pay for my studies. And that's when I really got introduced to sea life. It was an Italian place of seafood on Bondi Beach. It's an exotic destination. And that's where I got exposed to amazing marine life, amazing seafood.
When you started out as someone in the finance industry, obviously the monies were not much at the start. Was the passion still there, or has the passion come by because you have the money and now you can afford all these travels and stuff?
No, really, it's a passion was always there. In fact, just getting back on our first holiday, I remember we just had one credit card between us. In those stages you couldn't carry unlimited foreign exchange.
Right.
So we had one credit card. We were in Paris, and I remember we went there, and some of the credit card didn't work, and we had only just that much cash with us. So we would share a bread between the two of us, but with our feet, dangling near the river. And those are the best memories. So for that matter, you don't have to eat in a Michelin star restaurant in Paris to make it a lovely holiday.
Right.
As long as the romance is there, the place is great, and you're up to it.
Now, a lot of things that you spoke about happened by chance. So how much of that would you allude to the professional success that you've got as well? Has it been very hard, or have you been relatively more fortunate than the others?
No, I had to work very hard, because the thing I do technicals, and it's not mainstream. It's not popular. They're considered the heretics of finance. There's a book by that name about technical analysts. In a lot of areas, you always have somebody out there, a mentor or somebody whom you can for all fundamental analysts, they gravitate towards Warren Buffett or somebody like that. I've never really had that one. I'm self-taught. I haven't done any courses. I haven't done any, all these new exams have come in there. But I've just sat on charts myself randomly for years and years, seen them, develop my own methods, systems. So for me, it's been a very big self-learning journey. It's been a very long curve, a tough one. But I guess it's rewarding.
All right. And what kind of support has your family been in that aspect of your life?
No, I think it's phenomenal. It's good that fortunately we don't really bring work home. Markets have finite hours, and I'm very clear about that. I really don't like to carry work home, and that really gives you the balance. That gives you a chance to appreciate so many other aspects of life. I mean, apart from travel, it's my scuba diving. I love my wine. I love my coffees. I love food, being a Punjabi,
Atul and I have known each other for 18 years, and it's been a beautiful journey together. He's always been very, very supportive. I too work, and he's always been there for me, always been supporting me, giving me incentive, pushing me to do well also, and driving me. 9 years back, we had Soham. He came into our life, and I was then able to see a very different side of Atul. Atul as a dad. He's an extremely involved dad. He's there always for us. I mean, whether it was when Soham was a baby, right from changing diapers to feeding him to, of course, playing with him and rolling in the mud kind of dad. He does all that.
We'll continue the conversation with Atul Suri on the Weekender. Take a quick break and we'll be back.
Sunday evening is a time when there's peace and quiet. No markets in the world are open. So all your charts are frozen wherever they are. Right. So when you look at them, with no markets on, with a peaceful mind, and that's when I kind of prepare a report for Monday morning.
CNBC-TV18 Weekender.